Why don't you just vanish? My stepdaughter hurled the words at me during a heated argument. Her mother chimed in, saying life would be easier without me. I stayed silent, grabbed my suitcase, and left. This morning, my phone was flooded with 13 missed calls. Something felt wrong the moment I stepped into our living room on this quiet Sunday. The house was eerily still, but that wasn't the issue. My gaze scanned the room, searching for what was out of place. Then it struck me. Every family photo was altered. I approached the big frame above the mantel, the one from our Colorado vacation last summer. The picture was there, but I was missing. In every image, I'd been meticulously cut out, leaving odd voids in memories spanning 3 years. I stood frozen, coffee mug cooling in my grip, when I heard Lily's bedroom door shut softly upstairs. My stepdaughter's footsteps hesitated at the top of the staircase. She'd clearly realized I was awake. After a brief pause, she descended, clutching her phone, avoiding my eyes as she made her way to the kitchen. "Morning," I said, keeping my tone even. The silence that followed was thick with purpose. 3 years. That's how long I'd been part of Lily's life. 3 years of cautiously earning her trust, of late-night movies and algebra tutoring, of trying to be present without overstepping. Now at 16, she was pulling away. I'd anticipated standard teenage defiance, but this was different. It began last week when I offered to assist with her biology project. She'd been struggling, and I thought, well, it doesn't matter what I thought. Her reply stung like a slap. "Quit acting like you care about my schoolwork. You're not my real father." I'd heard versions of that before, but her tone carried a new edge, cold and intentional. Sarah, my wife, was in the kitchen and must have overheard, but she stayed quiet. That silence felt like picking a side. The strain grew over the week. Little things. Plates piled in the sink with sharp glances, doors shutting a tad too forcefully, conversations halting when I entered. Sarah grew distant too, brushing off my attempts to talk. "She's just being a teenager, James. Don't make it personal." But last night, everything erupted. Lily was texting at dinner, breaking our usual rule. When I calmly pointed it out, she slammed her phone down. "Why are you always controlling me? Can't you just back off?" "Lily," I began, "I'm only trying to—" "To what? Act like my dad? I already have one." She stood, her chair screeching against the floor. "Why don't you just vanish? Nobody wants you here. It's sad how hard you try." I looked at Sarah, hoping for something. Support? A mediator? Instead, she set her knife down and said softly, "Maybe we'd all be happier if you did." The words lingered like fog. 3 years of moments flashed through my mind. The day Lily first giggled at my corny joke, the night she called me crying after her first breakup, the warm smile Sarah gave when Lily asked me, not her mom, to help choose her homecoming dress. I rose slowly, my meal unfinished. "All right," I said quietly. "All right what?" Lily snapped, but there was a glint of doubt in her eyes. "If that's how you both feel, all right?" I went upstairs to our room and pulled out my old travel bag. I heard them murmuring downstairs, but no one followed. As I packed clothes for a few days, I noticed my hands were steady. I felt strangely calm. When I came downstairs, Lily had retreated, likely to her room. Sarah stood in the doorway, arms folded. "So you're just leaving? That's your answer?" "You said you'd be better off," I replied, checking for my keys and wallet. "I'm honoring that. That's not— I didn't—" She faltered, something, pride, anger, or regret, stopping her words. I hoisted my bag. I'll be at Mark's. I'll find something long-term soon. I paused at the door. You know, when Lily said those things before, it hurt. But hearing you back her up, that shattered something, Sarah. I drove to Mark's in silence. He took one look at me and prepped his spare room without a word. That's the kind of friend he is. I powered off my phone and took a sleep aid from my travel kit. This morning I woke to sunlight filtering through unfamiliar blinds. When I turned my phone on, it lit up with alerts. 13 missed calls. 8 from Sarah, 3 from Lily, 2 from Emma, my sister. 27 texts, 4 voicemails. I haven't checked them yet. I'm sitting in Mark's guest room watching morning traffic, thinking about those gaps in our family photos. Maybe they were always there and I was too blind to notice. My phone buzzes again. It's Lily. After everything, I stare at her name on the screen, wondering what could be so pressing now. But I'm not ready. Not yet. Sometimes the hardest part isn't leaving, it's deciding whether to return. Thank you all for the kind words on my last post. I wasn't expecting such a response. To answer common questions. Yes, I've seen the messages. No, I haven't responded yet. And yes, I'm still at Mark's. This morning followed the same pattern. Pretending to work while fixating on my phone, debating whether to break the silence. Then Mark dropped a bombshell over breakfast. "Greg's back in town," he said, pushing his phone toward me. There, on a social media post, was Lily's biological father, tagged at a local diner 2 weeks ago. The same Greg who hasn't paid child support in years. The same Greg who skipped Lily's last 4 birthdays. Suddenly, the timing clicked. I reread Sarah's texts. They shifted from irritated, real mature James, running off instead of talking, to worried, "Please just tell us you're safe," to something heavier. Her latest said, "There's something you should know. It's about Lily. Call me." Emma showed up at noon, armed with coffee and that determined look she gets when she's about to interfere. "You look awful," she said, sinking into Mark's sofa. "Thanks. Great to see you too, sis." She didn't laugh. "I saw Lily at the mall yesterday." That got my attention. "How is she?" "Meeting Greg for coffee. She didn't notice me." Emma studied me closely. She looked hopeful. You know that look she gets? Like she's scared to get too excited? I knew it well. It's the same expression Lily had when she got into that summer camp last year. Like she couldn't trust something good was real. "Did you know he's been texting her for months?" Emma went on, promising to fix things this time. My gut churned. I checked Lily's social media, which I rarely do. Her latest post was a photo with Greg, captioned, "True Family Time." Her friends' comments were full of heart emojis, oblivious to the history. Mark, who'd been listening quietly, spoke up. "Remember last time Greg showed up when Lily was 13? I did. He'd swooped in with big promises, stuck around 2 weeks, then vanished. Lily barely left her room for days after. Sarah and I spent months rebuilding her confidence, assuring her she was enough, that she deserved better. Then my phone pinged with a text from Sarah. "He's asking her to live with him. She's seriously thinking about it. Please, James, I know you're upset, but she needs you." I started typing replies, erased them all. What could I say? "Sorry you told me to vanish, but now you want me back?" It felt like a twisted game. Then came another alert, Lily's new social media story. A photo of college pamphlets on her bed captioned, "Big changes ahead. Sometimes you have to pick your true path." Those were Greg's exact words from 3 years ago, before he chased his true path across the country and stopped answering Lily's calls. Emma must have seen my expression. "What's on your mind?" "I'm thinking about the day I married Sarah," I said slowly. "Remember Lily's speech, how she said sometimes family finds you when you least expect it? Now she's posting about her true family and true path, while Greg plays perfect dad. He's got her fooled." My phone rang. Unknown number. "James, this is Ms. Carter from Riverwood High, Lily's counselor. I need to discuss some worrying changes in her academic plans and behavior. Can you come in tomorrow morning?" I agreed, my thoughts racing. Lily had been earning straight A's since 9th grade, set on attending a top university. What changed? After hanging up, Emma and Mark looked at me expectantly. "So?" Emma pressed. "So I think it's time to stop staying quiet." I opened Lily's voicemail. Her voice was soft, lacking her usual boldness. "I know you probably hate me. I get it. I need to tell you something. About why I said those things. About Greg. Please call me back." Her tone reminded me of the 13-year-old who checked the mailbox daily, hoping for a note that never arrived. "I'm meeting the counselor tomorrow at 9. After that, it's time for real talks, because stepping back sometimes lets you see things clearer from afar. The school's number is still on my screen. Next to it is a text from Greg in our family group chat, which I'm still in. Big news! Huge reveal at dinner tomorrow." I can guess what that reveal is, and I won't let history repeat itself. I've spent the last hour trying to sum up this update. The meeting with Ms. Carter uncovered things I never saw coming. And what happened next? Well, let me start at the beginning. I got to Riverwood High early, watching students hurry to class. Some of Lily's friends recognized me, their quick looks and whispers hinting that gossip about my absence was spreading. Ms. Carter got straight to the point. "Lily filed forms to drop her honors courses yesterday," she said, handing me a document. "She's also quitting debate club and student government. When I asked why, she said she's switching schools next semester." My stomach sank. These were the programs Lily had worked hard to join, the activities she'd counted on for college applications. "There's more," Ms. Carter added. "Last week she requested her transcripts be sent to 3 schools in California." She paused, eyeing me. "The same city where Greg just bought a house." The puzzle pieces started aligning. I showed her Greg's big reveal text. "Let me guess. He's launching a new company there?" She nodded. "Lily mentioned a tech venture, said her dad needs family investors to kick it off." That sick feeling returned, the one I felt 3 years ago when Greg persuaded Sarah to lend him money for a foolproof business deal. Money we never recovered. I left the school and drove to our house. Sarah's car was in the driveway, and through the window I saw her pacing in the kitchen, phone pressed to her ear. She saw me and flung the door open before I could knock. "He asked her for money," she blurted. "Her college savings. He's been feeding her dreams about this tech company, saying if she invests now, she'll earn enough for any university." "Where is she?" "At a cafe with Greg. Again." Sarah's voice broke. "I tried warning her it's a con, but she accused me of being jealous that he's finally showing up. She said at least he supports her goals." I sat at our kitchen island, the same spot where everything unraveled a week ago. "Why didn't you tell me he was back?" "I thought I could manage it. Keep them apart." She shook her head. Then you and Lily fought, and she said those things, and I panicked, took her side because I was scared she'd choose him completely. Before I could reply, the front door swung open. Lily walked in, stopping dead when she saw me. She looked different, makeup perfect, wearing a pricey coat Greg must have gifted her, but her eyes were puffy. "What are you doing here?" she asked, her usual sharpness gone. "Dropping your honors classes, really?" I kept my voice soft. "What happened to UCLA?" "Plans change," she muttered, avoiding my gaze. "Dad says—" "Greg says," I corrected gently. Something flickered in her expression. "He has contacts out there. The company's a sure thing." Like the vintage car lot was a sure thing, or the coffee shop chain. I opened my laptop, pulling up files I'd compiled that morning. I did some research. Want to see Greg's current business license, his credit history, or the 3 lawsuits from his last sure thing investment? Lily's hands shook as she took the laptop. With each click, each record, her composed mask cracked further. When she reached the lawsuit from his former stepdaughter's aunt, seeking to reclaim college savings he'd borrowed, a tear fell. "He said," she choked out, "he said he's different now, that he wants to make up for everything, that we could be a real family if—" She stopped, looking at me. "The photo album. He told me I had to show I was choosing him, that you were why he stayed away, because you replaced him." "Oh, honey." Sarah moved toward her, but Lily stepped back. "I knew," she whispered. "Deep down, I think I knew. But I wanted to believe so badly." Her phone buzzed. Another text from Greg. She stared at it, then powered it off. "I have to go," she said suddenly, heading upstairs. I need time." We let her go. Sometimes space is the best you can give. Hours passed. Sarah and I talked, really talked, for the first time in weeks about fears, missteps, Lily, Greg, and us. Around midnight, as I prepared to return to Mark's, my phone pinged with a text from Lily. "I screwed up. Everything's a mess. Can we talk? Like, really talk? Not about Greg or money, just remember when we'd grab milkshakes after my swim practices and you'd let me vent about school? Could we do that? I know I don't deserve it, but I'm typing this from my car outside our local milkshake shop, which is closed. But the owner knows us. We've been coming here for 3 years. He's staying open late for us." Lily just pulled up in Sarah's car. She's sitting there, probably gathering courage, just like me. Sometimes the toughest talks begin with the smallest steps, or in this case, a strawberry milkshake at midnight. That night at the milkshake shop changed everything. Lily poured her heart out for hours, about Greg's manipulation, her fears, her guilt. But a passing comment caught my ear. Greg had been urging her to get her friend's parents to invest in his company too. Something clicked. I recalled the lawsuits I'd found, his pattern of targeting families through their kids. The anger I'd been holding back found a focus. "You know," I said carefully, "what he's doing isn't just wrong. It's against the law." Lily looked up from her half-melted shake. "What do you mean?" I explained securities fraud, unregistered investment schemes. Her eyes widened as she showed me group chats where Greg had been soliciting investments from teens. That night after taking Lily home, I made calls. "Emma has a contact at the SEC. Mark knows someone in the DA's office." By morning, I had a strategy. Greg was blindsided. He was too caught up in his big reveal dinner, where he planned to persuade Lily to hand over her college savings. He'd even invited some of her friends' parents, more potential victims. The dinner was at a fancy restaurant. Greg was in his zone, boasting about tech connections and guaranteed profits. I waited until the salads arrived before standing. "Before we go on," I said, "some guests would like to join us." Right on cue, 2 federal agents and a state investigator entered. Greg's face shifted from smug to stunned to terrified. It turned out Greg wasn't running one scam. There were 7 fraudulent schemes across 3 states. Every time he'd reconnected with Lily over the years, he'd been lining up new targets. The vintage car lot that drained Sarah's savings, part of a bigger fraud. The coffee shop chain, same deal. But this time, he'd gotten careless. He documented everything in texts and emails to Lily, assuming she'd never turn against him. When she sent those messages to the investigators, his fate was sealed. The parents at the dinner, they were wired. Every promise, every pitch, every lie was recorded. Greg tried to bolt, knocking over a server and sprinting for the exit. He got 3 steps before security grabbed him. As they escorted him out, he gave Lily that manipulative, pleading look she'd fallen for before. "Sweetie, it's a mistake. Tell them I'm your dad." Lily stood tall. "My dad's right here," she said, taking my hand. "And he just watched you get what you had coming." The fallout was intense. Media coverage, victim statements, more families stepping forward. Investigators traced over $2.3 million in stolen funds. Greg faces 15 to 20 years. His company was a sham, just a website and pilfered photos of a real tech firm's office. But the true win wasn't seeing Greg arrested. It was the quiet moments after. Lily boxed up her photos with Greg and gave them to the prosecution. "Evidence," she said with a trace of her old grin. She rejoined her honors classes. The school was lenient, given the situation. Her friends' parents, instead of being upset, started a support group for families hit by similar scams, something positive from something terrible. Last night, Lily asked me to review her college essays. "I've got a wild story now," she said. "How many kids can write about taking down their bio-dad's fraud ring?" Sarah and I are in therapy, working on trust and healing scars. But watching Lily carefully place my photos back in the family albums, aligning each one just so, spoke louder than words. This morning, Lily came down early for breakfast, holding an envelope. "I found this in my room," she said, sliding it over. "Greg asked me to mail it last week. It's investment forms for his company. Thought you might want to add it to the evidence." I looked at the envelope, then at her. "Want to drop it off at the investigator's office together?" She smiled, that genuine, open smile I'd missed. "Can we grab milkshakes after?" Some might say the payback was too severe. That family is family no matter what. But real family doesn't steal your future. Real family shields you, even from other family. Greg's sentencing is next month. Lily's preparing a victim impact statement, drafting each word with care. Yesterday she asked me to read it. "It needs a strong close," she said. "Something that shows I'm not just his victim anymore." I think she's already written that close. It's in her posture now, in how she's teaching other kids to spot scams, in the college pamphlets back on her desk. Her true path, not the one Greg tried to sell. Sometimes moving on means ensuring the past can't harm again. And sometimes the best revenge isn't just seeing justice served. It's flourishing despite it all. We're having a family dinner tonight, just the 3 of us. Lily's making her signature spaghetti sauce, the one she mastered watching cooking tutorials with me during quarantine. Ordinary, mundane, perfect family moments. The kind Greg will have years to reflect on from his cell. Thank you for watching Story. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more real-life stories.